All right, looks like we're live. All right, who all do we have in the chat before we introduce the expansive panel? This is the most people you've ever seen on my channel, right? All right, Book Racing Production is here. Unfinished Project, Dark Sport. Somebody's got a YouTube browser open. Book Racing Production is here. Unfinished Project, Dark. All right, cool, excellent. Big Mike's Hoopty Barn, who's now in here. He was in the chat. Mopar Man 1978, one of our recent graduates. Lunar Outlaw Garage, Duddy's Adventure. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy. What a great name, man. When you name your channel that, there's no troll can do anything to you, right? We got Danny Boyd, RC Industry, another that's made it. Blake is in here, of course. We'll introduce the panel in a minute. White Trash Motorsports Sam, Rob Z, a.k.a. Uncle Jegs, Rapid Transit Jay. He and RC Industry were the first two to make it right about the same time. What else do we have in here? Pole Barn Garage. We got Dalton here. He's a seasoned content creator. If you guys, if he makes suggestions, might be a good idea because he knows how to build a robust channel. He is doing awesome. We have Jerry here. Looks like Ricky Jerry. Dodge Whisperer.
There's my race.
Here. Yeah, that's his race. And he's got his 500 a little bit ago. Man, a lot pouring in here. We've got Dusty Dodge, Buck, Jason Falk of Rapid Transit, JB's Little Shop. I'm pulling for JB. JB's going to make it. He's doing great. Roadkill Customs Buzz is here. NSB Custom Cars is here. And that they just made a fantastic call-out video accepting a race of Bigfoots and Mopars.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't seen that, check it out. Ryan Barstus, he was our accountant on the Live with David Bizard. I thought that was really cool. Ryan there. He tabulated in. We raised $1,500 for St. Jude's night before last, and Ryan was.
That was a fun live too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. That was a blast.
Ryan's a great kid in person.
And my aunt. And since my aunt is here, I guess we can start now. She's watching. All right. Looks like everybody's in the house. So those of you in the chat, our panel here, we've got several channels who are all no-name 500 contenders. These are all guys who are trying to get their 500 subs, including we have one recent graduate here, Mike's Mischief, but we have Tall Garage Ken. We have Bullet, BCCOA, that's Bullet. Mike's Mischief, of course, who just cleared his 500 a couple days ago. We have Rob's Rods and Streetcars, which is Jason's Garage's brother. Wild Rose Garage Nolan, he's really close to 500. I really enjoy Nolan's channel, probably more than I should. It's entertaining, but it's really good stuff. It's educational too. Big Mike's Hoopty Barn, one of the OGs in the race, going out in that 7-degree weather building stuff. And Creedence Chrysler Revival, the name that every time somebody reads it for the first time says, that's a really cool name. So that's the panel. And then you have Blake and I, Blake from Battery Productions. So I was thinking of my content creator friends in YouTube, and I said, who would be really good at helping people figure out ways to tricks and tips and tweaks they can do to their videos to make them more clickable and get more views and subscribers. And I thought Blake is the ideal person for that. So of all the depth on the bench of people I could have asked, I picked Blake. It's not like I picked one person who was free. No, Blake was the first person I thought of, and so that worked out good.
Well, I'm very honored, John.
Well, I mean it. So because Blake is a really good producer of stuff. So anyway, I'm hoping that's a good resource for you guys. So you guys in the chat will have the same opportunity to ask questions, but I can only fit 8 on the screen. Okay? Levi, by the way, I'm hoping Levi will jump in the chat. Levi looks like he's having some technology problems, but he can still certainly jump in the chat. But as far as this goes, I don't really have a format per se. What inspired me to do it, I hope Mike doesn't mind me saying, is I'm watching one of Hoopty Mike's videos, because I watch most of Hoopty Mike's videos, and he had a massive fireball under his 51 Cornet. And it was spectacular. I mean, it looked like the car was going into orbit when he starts it up. I still don't know what that was. Do you know what caused that, Mike?
I may have went a little bit heavy on the gas in the carburetor.
Well, this thing looked like Chernobyl rolling under his car, right? And yet the thumbnail didn't have that. And I'm like, how do you not use that for a thumbnail? Because I had just seen Randall from Blown Budget Garage. I just had Randall from Blown Budget Garage have it. Oh, there you go. How you doing, Levi? How you doing?
Made it back, Levi.
We just did introductions. This is Dylan Levi, Levi's Backyard Performance. He has been fighting technology, but he is now here, so I'm glad to have you, man. But anyway, I see this big fireball under Mike's car, and it wasn't in the thumbnail, and I thought, you know what? Mike would get 100 subs out of that. So I said, maybe it would be good to put something like this together if any of you guys have questions about how to create a thumbnail for your videos. Things like, what length should a video be? When should I break it apart? When should I leave it together? How do I title it? Audio, lighting, things like that. I thought a little workshop like this might be ideal. Might be a good thing to have because most people trying to get to 500 subs have not produced as much stuff. That's why you don't yet have 500 subs. And so Blake and I remember being there a few years ago doing the climb, up to 500, just like you guys are doing, and trial and error and all of that. So we want to share anything we know and any of the seasoned people in the chat. So we have I've invited lots of friends like Pole Barn Garage, of course. We have stuff with Cletus. Cletus has got a fair number of subs.
Buddy's Adventure.
Andrew Nelson, who you may not recognize him, that's his individual account, Nivlac57. If I'm even saying that right, they've got wicked fast cars. So we have a lot of seasoned guys in the chat that may be able to offer stuff too. So just offering that, putting that
I'd like to apologize to Big Mike. I accidentally gave all the credit for that fireball to Bear Rays.
Yeah, I heard that.
I got you guys mixed up the other day when I was doing a shout out for this yesterday.
That's all right. I love that guy.
So sorry about that. We got it fixed now.
Yeah. Well, and John said that about the, making a thumbnail out of that. And I'm like, how in the world do you make a thumbnail? I'm like, my thumbnails usually come off whenever I'm working on the coronet.
Yeah.
Or smashed by a hammer.
Right.
We can go a topic at a time. Like some of you guys here may just be aces at making your thumbnails, and some of you guys may just use whatever the 3 thumbnails are YouTube suggests.
Right.
And you pick whichever one's best. So there's several different ways you can do it, and I'll tell you a couple of different ways I do it. One way you can do it is if you watch your video on your phone, for example. Let me just pick any random anything here. If I go to YouTube and I click on a video, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, here's one of the Nelson's videos right here. I'm going to mute this, of course. What I'll do is, so here's their video playing, okay? What I can do is I can scan and just find, see the little bar at the bottom? I can scan to wherever I want in their video with that little bar. Let's say I go to let's say that I scan and stop the video on that, and that's what I want to use for a thumbnail. Okay. And my thumb is sideways. I can take a screenshot of that by pressing the home button and the power button together.
Right.
On Samsung or Android devices, it's the volume down and power button.
Yeah, volume down, power on Android. But now that picture I took from the screen, that screenshot, guess what? It's 16 by 9. It's the perfect size for YouTube, and it's just under 1.5 megabytes. It's the perfect size for upload. The easiest way, and you can use any frame out of the video, and that way you're not constrained to the 3 choices they give you.
Right.
So if I'm going to Hoopty Mike's, I pick out the biggest part of the fireball and I pause it. and then I do a screenshot, and usually you can email it to yourself, thumb drive, however you want to get it to yourself. But that picture is now perfect. It's the perfect proportion and size to go into YouTube. Now you're not stuck with just whatever the 3 suggestions are. So
That shorts I made of that carburetor on when I did that live, it took me 15 minutes to try and figure it out, but I finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
when you got that picture though, I mean, where does it? Do you have a prompt where it says to put up a thumbnail or?
In your content.
So on your phone on the SD card, it'll save your screenshot images. Now, when you're doing your information, when you're uploading on YouTube, it'll show you there's 3 versions of the thumbnail they think you should use. Next to that, to the left, it'll say upload an image. So you click on upload an image and go through your files of your screenshots or the most recent one that you used. And you can do it that way. Also, most phones have an editor where you can put a caption on top of a picture. So put a caption on your picture and upload that. Because YouTube always picks the 3 goofiest ones where it seems like your mouth's always open, right? And I don't know. Me standing here with my mouth open isn't what the video's about. The Barracuda doing a burnout or up on jack stands is what the video's about.
If you figure in a 5-minute video,
318.
that is, if you film 30 frames a second, that's 9,000 frames. 9,000 frames in a 5-minute video. You really think the 3 frames YouTube picks for you at random are going to be your best options? Usually not. So this gives you a chance. Now, if you want to take let's say that you don't want to use a still out of your video and you want to use a different picture altogether. You can take one, and I say use the phone because most people are using their phones, but you don't have to. You can use camera, phone. But here's the thing. This is important. In your phone, and I'll use iPhone, but you can do it with anything. I flick the menu up right here, and you'll see some options. You can take your picture in 16:9 ratio. And what it'll do is that will perfectly proportion it to upload to YouTube. Because if you take it without that, you get the black bars on the side of your thumbnail. So if you just take a regular photo with your phone, it's not quite proportioned in widescreen, which is what YouTube wants. If you change your settings, it'll do that.
This app you can download for free. It's called Thumbnail Maker for YouTube. It's an Android device, but that's what I use for every thumbnail. The only thing I use my phone for is for thumbnails, and sometimes I might film with it. But I find that app is really handy. I mean, it's got little stickers and stuff that you see on other bigger channels' thumbnails, explosions and stuff that you can add little goofy stuff to them if you feel that you want to make it more eye-catching, more appealing. Another good color to use is yellow as your caption.
Absolutely.
Yellow really grabs your eyeballs.
Well, yellow also rarely blends in with the background because yellow's not as common a color, right?
Right.
There is a reason why a high visibility like pistol sight is yellow, and it's because yellow is the least common color you're going to see out there, and so it contrasts with more things. So yellow in general is going to contrast with more things you're going to see in the automotive world. Now, obviously, you don't want to use yellow on top of, say, a yellow car. That's the exception.
Right.
But usually colors like that. And also,
yellow, red.
Yeah, so look at your font and placement and things like that so that the caption doesn't get blurred away.
And spend a couple hours just messing around, sitting on your couch watching videos, and go, okay, what's blur mean? And you move that scale, and you see it gets blurrier. It makes it more attention grabbing. Just mess around, make like a couple thumbnails for your next couple videos. Send them to your buddies, see what they think. Bouncing information off your buddies, your friends, is one of the best things you can ever do. You can get a lot of good advice from them. And if they're really good friends, they'll tell you if it sucks or not.
Well, I'm telling you, take your time to develop thumbnails. It's really important because, we always hear people say you shouldn't judge. But I'm telling you, YouTube, that's all people do is judge. And you literally have 2 seconds of attention span for your thumbnail to make somebody want to click it or not. And so no matter how cool what you're working on is, a good thumbnail is really important. I'll always take the time to make a good thumbnail over getting something out faster.
One other way to use it or to make a thumbnail, say if you do your editing on a computer, you can use somebody's TV is really loud. If you got Microsoft Paint, there's huge channels that use Microsoft Paint for their thumbnails. Now, if you're filming a video and there's a portion of it where you say, okay, this would be a good opportunity for a thumbnail, stop and freeze while you're videoing. While you're editing that video, you can screenshot that with your computer. Because a frozen image, if you're sitting there talking and you try to take a capture, it might not be as crisp looking. So just stop for 3 seconds with your wrench in your hand and the fireball behind you. And then you can capture that later on while you're editing. If you're using your computer, if you're not using a phone.
Here's another way that I make thumbnails, especially a lot of background noise in there.
He was inside. I thought he was outside for a second. My head.
Not mine.
Yeah. Somebody's got a pretty good amount of background noise. If you can just hit your mic mute, that would be helpful. I appreciate it. Another thing I do that makes good thumbnails is I use Microsoft Publisher. Okay, it's a cheap, ancient program. The version I use is 2010. Right? You can get that for nothing. And what you do is to make thumbnails, a 16 by 9 size is really important. So what I do is I go and I make a blank page size that's 16 by 9, 16 wide, 9 high. And I make it 16 inches by 9 inches, but it really doesn't matter. It's just the proportion is all YouTube cares about. Once I do that, I can add any images, text, anything I want to, and save it as a JPEG, and now I have another thumbnail. So when you guys see the thumbnails for the artwork, like on my lives, like I'll have Hoopty Mike or Wild Rose or somebody, that's how I do them, and it's perfect. It works great. So take a blank page size, 16 by 9, lay all your images on it, your text, you can play around with that, and the more you do it, the better you get. Usually I make those thumbnails you guys see in 30 minutes. The first one I did probably took me 2 hours. But now that I'm used to it, play around with it, 30 minutes, I can make those thumbnails you guys see for all my lives. I do it in Publisher. Obviously you don't have to get fancy with stuff, but it is worth your while to make a good thumbnail. Good image, text, caption is worth your while.
Rod, could you mute your mic again, please? You can always unmute when you're ready to talk. Yeah, it's you.
We appreciate it.
There we go.
So that's just one of the things. That's one of many things. Another thing is like, video length. Okay. I've seen a lot of videos, not just No Name 500 guys. I mean, all kinds of different channels. But the video length, it's harder to get somebody to take a chance on a new channel when the video is 20 minutes long. Okay. So even when you have 20 great minutes of content, it's probably worth your while to break that up into some installments. And breaking it up, let's say you have a 20-minute video and you break it up into 4 5-minute pieces and do a part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you can drop those videos, each day or every other day consecutively. So it kind of banks you some content too.
I remember when I first uploaded my first video, it wouldn't let me upload a video longer than 15 minutes. So my first ever video, I spent probably 10 hours on editing it because I didn't know what I was doing. And I uploaded it, and it was, I think, like 16 or 17 minutes long, and YouTube said it was too long. So I trimmed some fat out of it, which was hard. It's like killing your baby, right? That you just spent so much time and energy on. And then I was able to upload, and I couldn't do it anything longer than 15 minutes until I got 100 subscribers. Unless that was the way YouTube used to work, because that really blew my mind right there.
Now, one thing too, like Roadkill Customs makes a good point here. He says that you can pause the video and do it frame by frame to find it. That's fine. What we're trying to do in here that's good information. I do that, but I'm just saying, if you're still trying to figure out how to make a good thumbnail, that's more advanced. Right now, I would say crop out the little piece of freeze frame video you want. Find it frame by frame if you wish, but
The easiest way is just taking a picture with your phone, though.
yeah, and Ryan's correct. Make content as often as possible. But when you make a 20, 25, 30-minute video, break it up into pieces so that you can drop it each day or consecutive days or every 2 or 3 days. And you'll get more bang for the buck doing that. You'll get more subscribers out of the same video doing that. Something else worth mentioning, our friend Just Mopar Joe, he does all of his editing on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Wood, Unity Motorsports Garage, does all of his editing on an iPhone. You'd be surprised how many big channels don't use anything fancy to do their editing.
Yeah, you can. There's tons of free editors. Some phones come with them already on them. So instead of just hitting pause and hitting restart, just film, stop filming, film some more, get all your video files, and download a video editor on your phone. So if you want it to be goofier.
Couple other just little things I'll mention, then we'll just kind of jump into some general question answer type stuff. When you're outside or when you're a good distance from your phone, like more than about 4 or 5 feet, you can get a little $20 clip-on lapel microphone with a hard wire, and the wire will be like 15 or 20 feet long. I paid $20 for mine off Amazon, and it has 2 microphone heads, and it has 20 feet of wire, and it plugs right into my phone. And then when I'm outside, like right where I film at my house, I have an interstate that's not 100 yards over here. Okay, so when but you don't hear it because I use a clip-on mic when I'm outside. You never even see the thing. That goes a long way towards preserving your audio. But then when I do like a walk around of a car, I take that off because now I have my phone up here filming close when I'm walking around, and my mouth is like a foot from the phone. So there's a time to use it and a time not to. But it really helps your videos when you have good audio. And that's all it takes. That little $20 hardwired microphone, just plug and play, and it fixes all those audio problems. I had to do a video one time where there was a refrigerator, a big freezer case at a restaurant behind me. And that thing was so loud you couldn't hear anything over it. Clip on a lapel mic, couldn't even hear it because all it would pick up was me. It was perfect. So if you have audio problems, that's a good way to fix it. Then you're not dependent on being too close to the camera.
Our GoPros are pretty good at capturing a good distance of audio. The one thing I did is I wasted my money getting a lapel mic to plug it in, and GoPro's like, nah, you got to spend $80 more for a jack.
Yeah.
Plug it in. I'm like, man, these things are so expensive.
One thing, too, I'll mention is I have a wireless mic, but I use the little cheap hardwired one 5-10 times more than I use the wireless because I don't have to get them paired. I don't have 2 kinds of batteries to keep up with. The wireless is so much harder to use. It's way more expensive. And
they're like $300.
There's more chance of having problems go with it. So I only use wireless if I absolutely have to. So all I tell you for now is get you that little cheap $20 microphone, and it'll make a huge
difference. I'll finish that.
Difference. Another thing too that's kind of handy: a low power flashlight. That really helps. If you're doing a video like up under a car or something like that, being able to get a little bit of light under there makes a big difference. Yeah, like these halo type ring lights. Both of us have those. But we're just using them in the studio. But you need some kind of portable little light out in the field, like a flashlight.
I went to Walmart with $150 and bought all them LED shop lights that I could, and got rid of all the incandescents in the shop, and it made so much more of a difference filming inside the garage. It was almost too bright, so I went to the fabric department and bought some white fabric and covered them all, so it was a little bit of softer glow. But you can get some really good lighting for cheap.
Yeah, you don't have to spend a bunch on any of this stuff. So what I would say is do something until you need something to unlock the next level. And then once you have it down and you need that next tool to go to another level, that's the only time to do it, because the fanciest tools and equipment are not going to get you things.
You're not always going to take your projects and to get them welded when one day you want to invest in the welder so you can just do it yourself, right?
So
It's good to
here's
invest in
another one.
tools.
It's good to invest in tools, but the tools aren't going to give you skill. They're not going to give you production skill or any of that. So wait till you get to the next plateau. And again, some of you guys are on your videos, some of you guys are not. I really think that to get with very limited exception in the YouTube world, you need to be on your videos when you can. Like I've looked at some of Nolan's. Nolan's a one-man show in the shop, right? And his commentary is fantastic. I couldn't beat that for anything, right? That's just him, who he is. I'm sure, no, I'm not going to ask you this, but you just cut that camera on and just go, right?
Correct.
It's a
Exactly what I did.
situation, and it's great. You couldn't possibly script or plan better than the stuff he says in his shop. But he needs to be in front of the camera. If you guys invited somebody to your shop and said, hey, I want you to come over here and watch me work on this, but you're going to stand over my shoulder and watch me work, that'd be the creepiest thing ever, right? But it's what you're doing when you're filming and they're just watching what you're filming. When you put your camera on a tripod, right? You can get a tripod at Goodwill, man. You could make a tripod or you can get a nice one, whatever. I mean, the difference between the cheapest and most expensive tripod you can get is $100, anywhere in between. Okay. You can spend between $1 and $100. But the tripod makes all the difference. And because you can go, you can look at it, you can frame in what you're working. I'll actually do a couple of test passes. So like I did a video of an abandoned building I found an engine in. And I wanted to know, how am I framed in this scene, right? So I take my tripod, I line up the building, hit record. I go stand out there. I say audio test. I come back, stop. I play it back. Now I can see how I look in the frame and I can hear how good the audio is or isn't. Right?
And another good thing with tripods is if you do want to step up your editing a little bit, you can, like if you notice, Duddy does a lot of jump cuts. And it looks so good because he uses a tripod.
Yes.
Where sometimes we're more of a vlogger style channel walking around passing the camera. But if you try to jump cut that way, it looks kind of hokey. So if you want it to look good, use a tripod.
If you watch Duddy make something disappear and reappear out of his hand because the tripod is so still. Same thing I did with Dakota's timeout. I literally in the video made him vanish.
And if you don't even want to do jump cuts, but if you stumble bum on some words or something while you're wrenching, do an internal 5-second count, redo it. And it just makes it look a little bit more seamless after editing.
Yep.
Because the camera never moved.
I try to do things in one take. I'm not trying to, get crazy with editing, right? I mean, you see people who will try to cut every sentence and make it perfect. You'll drive yourself nuts doing that, okay? But if I mess up something so bad that I can't do anything with it, I'll just stop, take a deep breath, get my composure, and then just start over. And then I can always come back and just chop that out later. But that way, I'm not running back and forth. I'm not, it saves you some edit time. But and I leave the goofy stuff in anyway. Only if it's really bad or really messes up the product when I ever even edit it anyway. But anyway, that's just some observations I had. Is there anything that maybe we can help you guys with, that questions you might have? Because you got Blake here. Blake's really good at this stuff. And I do okay. And we also have some really good editing guys in the comments. And we also know guys who are really, really good who aren't here. So if you got any questions, we'll get you an answer one way or the other.
Ask away, and what works for me might not work for you.
Yeah.
So, there's a million different ways to go about this YouTube thing. So
yeah, Duddy uses the bar stool. See, your tripod can be anything.
Yeah, I actually got something for him and sent it anyway. I found a weighted tripod at the pawn shop the other day for $10. Thing weighs like 50 pounds. His camera always falls over. I'll pay more in shipping than what I bought the damn thing for.
That's worth it. Did you guys have any questions, particularly things that you want to do in your videos to maybe raise them a level, or things that you think maybe should get more subs and don't, or any of that kind of stuff? Now's the time to ask.
Well, I have a hard time filming at work because I work for AAA, and being in the building, they don't allow all of that. I did a couple shorts while I was in there. But my thing is I don't have a garage at home. I got to work out of my driveway, and it's 10 below zero. I'm not outside.
Right.
So, I've seen in other people's channels where they've got, I don't know, it almost looks like you guys have gone, not you guys, just them have gone to not someone else's channels or what, not just picked out something, other automotive, just try and share it on the shorts. Other than taking my camera on my phone and just filming it from the TV screen, which normally has lines and shit all through it. How do you do something like that?
To film shorts?
No,
You want
not
to
film
film?
shorts. No, just I don't know, just a random clip off of something else someone else had.
Oh, somebody else's
Okay.
footage and make it your own short.
Right.
Like you see the watermark with TikTok, but it's on a YouTube short, and that's
Sort of,
I
yeah.
don't know how.
So
Yeah, I mean, you try to film it with your phone on the computer screen, and you get those lines through it, and it's just not real good quality.
So when you want to, there's different things. There's obviously different ways you do this. One, if you're going to, the best is to share somebody's stuff and share their original link. If you
I tried
want
to share it to my channel, but you can't. I tried.
well, you can share somebody's content by going to their video and clicking the share arrow below it,
Yes.
and then you can make a community post that way. But you guys,
Okay.
I think you need 500 to make a community.
Need
post.
500 to get a community post. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the other option is if you want to try to use a clip from it, there's different ways. What I'll do is on my iPhone, I've got a screen record feature, and I think the Android stuff does too. And the way you get to it is if you swipe up to get that menu right there, that one little odd button in the bottom that's just a circle in a circle, it will record your screen, whatever's on it. So go to the video, play it, hold your phone sideways, and when you're going to record that piece, you swipe up, hit screen record, let it record what you want, and then when you're past the part you want to finish recording, you just stop the recording and crop it. And now you have a perfect video file, full quality, that you can use in your stuff.
I'm not trying to steal someone's content, just trying to have something extra while I'm not making any videos, is all.
Well, you can make videos anywhere at any time. I mean, you can go out and film a short just on your commute to work. You can stop. I mean, we've all stopped and seen the guy with a trailer with a wheel missing and all kinds of crazy stuff you see in traffic. There's all kinds of things to film and use for shorts.
Do you got any cottage work that I've grown up my whole life without a garage? And when wintertime hits, that's when you start rebuilding the transmission in the basement, or start doing small cottage work, I call it, And
Every model
Urban distributor right on your office desk, that kind of stuff. That's all good content.
or you can, do reviews, or just think outside the box would make you separate from everybody else,
Well, as you can tell, I've got, my house is a zoo, so it's hard for me to try and sit down and do a whole lot too. So there's a lot going on right now.
Takes a lot of time.
It is, and the more you do this, the more you see opportunities for getting things like that and getting video and these kind of things. And as they come along, you seize them. And how many of us have ever? Let me tell you, the best thing about going to the beach, I don't care what anybody says, is going to the public boat ramp and watching people who don't know how to back a boat trailer. Right? That's the best thing ever. Right?
And I worked at a marina for 6 years. Tell me about it.
You get content from
just imagine.
everywhere, man. There's all kinds of places to get great content.
Dude, me and Jeremy brought that up before we started Bad Tree Productions. We were always going to start a marina channel.
Yeah.
Just all the goofballs that can't figure it out how to back a boat up.
Right. There's content everywhere. You'll if you start looking for it, you'll start noticing. And like one morning I walked out, had a dead battery. So I have an extra battery that I have stashed right near my driveway, an extra car battery. So I stuck my jumper cables on the battery is sitting on the sidewalk, and I stuck my jumper cables on that. Still wouldn't start. That battery was dead. I'm like, well, this is great. So I go get my little AC charger, my little 6-amp charger, and I put that on the dead battery and had the jumper cables to the battery in the car. And I said, this is worthy of a short. Didn't plan it.
That's seizing the opportunity right there.
Exactly. I took a 10-second video of this idiotic, chain of current and battery explosions waiting to happen, and I posted it. Hey, it got 1,200 views.
The windshield
Got
wipers and the duster.
subscribers. Took 10
windshield-
seconds.
Windshield wipers stopped working on my car the other day. I stopped at a hardware store and bought Rain-X, and so this is how you apply it and wipe it off, and here's what it looks like. And that thing got 2,000, 1,500 views.
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
Yeah.
just take an opportunity or seize the moment. Is this something that you can help teach somebody with? Has somebody never seen this before? A million people seen Rain-X,
Right.
but make it interesting.
Right. They haven't seen your car. They haven't seen
Right.
you pull on Rain-X. They haven't seen your review of it. So you can make these things your own.
Mhm.
These are just things and observations we see.
When you're filming your shorts, if you go through YouTube to film your short, you can hold your thumb down while you're recording and stop, turn the camera around, point it back at your face, and make it look like it's edited. So when you're done talking, remember your place, turn your camera around, keep your sentence going. It's a really fun way to practice doing really goofy stuff.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. That's neat. I'm going to try that next time.
And it'll give you that automatic 15 second. You got to click that right away to 60 seconds so you can give yourself some time to do your spiel of whatever the hell you're doing that day.
When you have something that's a short little subtopic, like there's one person, I don't see him in here today, but he's one of the No Name 500 guys, has a lot of content out there. But some of his videos will be 1 minute long. And that video would work better as a short than as a regular posted video. So usually shorts to me are just the things that more naturally fall into that category.
And like in the comments here, the stuff you don't think is going to be good is usually going to be your gold. Like for our videos, the Ford F-350. Here, Jeremy, threw him a camera, didn't think of anything to do, just recorded him banging the gears. Came back, oh yeah, this is the throttle body. See you later. 35,000 views.
Yeah.
You put all your blood, sweat, and tears in something, 300 views.
I did a video taking an engine to Louisiana. I thought it was one of the best videos I ever did. Got fewer than 500 views. I took a 2-minute video of drunks getting thrown out of a football game, and it got 250,000 views so far.
Yeah, and I don't get it because we get drunk towards the end of our episodes all the time.
But I'm just saying, you never know what's going to take off. So like Jay from Rapid Transit, I saw him in the chat earlier. Jay just did a short that has 1 million views.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. There can be one video that makes your channel, so never give up. You can always have, and you won't know which one it's going to be. You will not see it coming. You'll just get in your analytics and say, whoa, what happened one day? Mm-hmm. You'll notice you got all these comments and views that came from somewhere, and you look for it. Where's all this coming from? And you'll see this one video.
I added
way too many views.
A 1969 Mercury motor that me and Jason got running. I put that on there as a short, and I think that had 2,000 views on it.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
and the shorts are
just for the hell of it.
A pretty good way for a new channel to get exposed quickly. Because 2 subscribers for it. That was it. Well, you got 2 subscribers, but how you have 1,500 people see you? Like what John's saying, there's only a minute of their time they're investing to see if they like you or not. Mm-hmm. So shorts are pretty cool. You don't make any monetization on them at all, but
right.
But they're a good tool for a new channel.
This is a good comment here. Sam from White Trash Motorsports says a clever title can blow up, and that's absolutely right. You know what? My best story about this, I like watching repossession videos on YouTube, right? And because they're always interesting. There was a guy that had a title on his video that said, I can't even remember exactly what it was, but it was something like compliance something for something. I didn't even know what it meant from the title. I go to watch the video, and this guy is at a trailer park somewhere in Arkansas, repoing a car. The guy gets between the car and the wrecker, standing on the boom. A father comes up, blocks the wrecker, points a gun at the driver. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? All of this goes on, and his title is compliance, this, that, and the other? So I put a comment in there. The video had been up for 2 months. I put a video in there, and I said, man, I said, if you would change the title of this video from compliance whatever to white trash pulls gun on repo, it would have 476,000 views instead of 476. So he said, that's a good idea. He changed the title. That video's got millions of views now. Millions of views.
Well, look at the Dodge Whisperer just 4 hours ago. He's got his brother-in-law and his dad sanding and buffing on his Barracuda, and he's not a body guy, and his car's blown apart, and he sees the opportunity to take all the a short of all the parts scattered. And it's build a race car ? Thing's got 1,500 views already.
Yeah. Make a thumbnail.
Seizing the opportunity. The car's not together, but here's all the parts of it. Here's what we're doing.
Noted.
The thumbnail should entitle, because they work together, right? The image and the title, they work together. They should be asking a question that person's dying to have answered. This is why you see titles like "Will it run?" Will it hold together? They ask questions for titles. Buck's asking, you guys recommend an intro. I got to tell you, I'm not big on intros because I think
John hates intros.
I think they've overdone them. If you're going to have an intro, it should be short and sweet and consistent.
I keep mine very short.
Yeah, don't have music that's extremely loud and then a very soft-spoken person and then a loud outro. That's really rough on your viewers. Okay, so you just want to be careful with if you do choose to do an intro. You don't have to have an intro, but if you choose to do one, keep it short and make sure the volume isn't too high. That will be my recommendation. But again, you do what works for you and your viewers.
Mine's a little loud.
I love Bad Tree's intro, but here's the thing: he doesn't have a disproportionate volume for when they start speaking. So you can seamlessly go from his volume, and his intro isn't overbearingly long. I have seen 30-second intros on YouTube that are all like these toaster effects, and those are the worst. People will click off before the video.
There's a site, I believe it's called. Have you guys ever heard of it? Anybody in here? So these on Fiverr, think of $5 Fiverr. It's full of people that are artists. Like, you guys are all artists now. You're creating content, but these guys can make you a $5 intro video or a $500 intro video. If you feel that you don't have the editing skills to do something, like I think Lone Budget Garage, his intro looks like he paid somebody on that site to make it for him. A lot of channels look that way. If you want to have a short, catchy 15-second intro, you could pay a guy $10. Say, this is my channel name. This is what I want, short and simple. You could do that if you want. Or you can screw around for 8 hours one night and make your own.
Here's I lost my train of thought for just a minute.
But that Fiverr, they can make all kinds of stuff for you. Images, logos, intros. So that's a tool.
See what I'm going to do. I don't know exactly how to do this, but I'm going to try it. Tony said he would stop by. We've got 8 here. I'm going to see if I can. I don't know if I can remove myself from the screen or not, but
I can hop out.
Well, I was supposed to say I'd have to get him the link, but I can do that. Give me just a second. Tony, let me know if you're trying to join by phone or if you're sitting at your computer, and I'll send you a link here in a minute. So just tell me how you're wanting to join.
Tony's got it down. I mean, his titles,
Tony's got
their
all
attention grabbing.
Yeah.
He's a cool cat too.
He knows how to describe stuff very well.
We had a question about humor. Do you recommend humor? And the thing is, it needs to mirror your own personality. Okay, you can't use humor like it's artificial. If that's not an extension of your personality, it's never going to work, and people will see through it.
Has to be natural.
Has to be. It has to. People will smell phoniness in a minute.
You can't bottle lightning.
You don't
That's why you got to have the camera on all the time.
Don't even need to be funny. Even if it's unfunny, people will think it's funny. So
if it's real.
Well, if
it's real. If it's real, exactly.
At work, there's so much at work that I could do, but if I get caught doing it at work, I can lose my job, and it sucks.
Tony, I just sent you the link. I just emailed you the link. So if you want to jump in, go ahead and jump in. I'll kick myself out. That'd be nice. Let other people hijack the entire life. That'd be awesome.
Streetcar Chronicles, you're hilarious, man. Don't kid yourself.
He is he says if it's not natural, it won't work. But see, that's an extension of who he is. So when you see Ryan offline, that's him. Okay. So in my Coach Eddie video, throwing a wreath like a frisbee. Well, that's me. I mean, so it has to be who you really are. It doesn't work. You guys have any other specific questions? I mean, this is just kind of a round table. Anything you want to do or thinking about doing? All we're trying to do is offer things that we think will help you get more subs.
Hey, gentlemen, can y'all hear me?
What's that?
Can y'all hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
I noticed on mine, for about every 5 subs I get, I lose 2 or 3.
It's happened to me several times.
That's the audit thing. YouTube has like a little queue where they audit people and they make sure your subs are real. And what I can say is just hang in there. You'll watch most of them come back. So, and it's worse now than it used to be. It wasn't like that about a year ago, but it's gotten pretty rough. But you will, every time you lose a few, you'll gain more. So you'll get it. You'll get it eventually. But YouTube will audit you periodically.
Some people had started a YouTube account and they haven't watched it in months, and they'll just automatically unsubscribe them from you too. Sometimes,
I know I've subscribed to Robert's Garage. I've subscribed to him like 3 times over and keeps unsubscribing me.
You know what, Wilburn? I did notice that yesterday. I've been subscribed to Soundman Card Audio for 5 years. And the other day I seen it was red. Would you like to subscribe? I'm like, when did I unsubscribe from this?
YouTube is not. YouTube is just not fair. What can I say? They didn't try to consult.
God dang vacuum cleaner.
I'm going to try to.
Nope. He did it.
That was sudden.
Right. I sure don't want anyone to think that I think he's saying I was stealing. I was just trying to get real quick.
Hey, Blake, I'm going to kick you out for just a second as an experiment here. I can put you right back in. I've never had Tim on a live. This is a new thing for me.
So while they're doing that, so I try to make shorts out of material I'm filming at the moment, right? And then I just put, some catchy meme audio over it, and I use that to fill in the gaps between videos, So I don't know if that would help you guys, but that help. If I'm filming a video and something interesting, I'll just capture that 15 seconds, throw some audio over it that catchy, throw it up at
everything
the
thrown out here in the last 50 minutes has been helpful. So I mean, I'm not taking anything, as an insult from nobody. It's called constructive criticism or advice, whichever you want to put it.
But yeah, filling up space between videos of shorts, it seems pretty like a pretty good way to keep momentum,
I'm going to leave a message. Tony, if you're watching, you're clear to jump in. So I sent you the link. I got a notification on my screen, but it didn't put up anybody down below. So anyway.
But I was up to 108 subscribers, went down all the way down to 96 overnight.
Yeah, it happens.
Somehow.
It happens. I was at 195 the other day. I went down to 184 or some shit. So it happens.
I've watched a lot of that. Poor Barrows, he would get up close to 500 and drop back to 440 or something, and it just went back and forth forever. But he got there, and you guys will too. All right, straighten up. Tony's in the house.
Howdy, Tony.
Hey, guys.
The cult leader is in the house.
Tony, these are our 8 elite from the No Name 500, and they're all here trying to up their video production game. What
Hey, guys.
do you have?
What do you think, Tony? You think we'll make
What's
it?
happening? Do you have any wisdom?
I think you guys are awesome. Can you hear me, by the way?
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Is there any feedback? Because we're having some problems here. I think you're all going to make it. I think that is fantastic.
I wonder how my motorcycle got all the way to Tennessee.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Hang on 1 second, because
Go ahead.
Take your time.
I got to unplug these. Hang on.
Way to Tennessee.
Okay. Now, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. I'm sorry. We're having issues here. For some reason, the microphone and the headphones won't work at the same time.
Kill that YouTube browser.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're having issues. For some reason, the microphone and the headphones won't work at the same time. All right. Now, also, I'm having this crazy delay.
You got to kill the YouTube browser.
Hey, Kat.
You know how to mute it, Tony?
All of us.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
All of us.
We'll get it back.
I'll get him back. He's still in the studio. We'll get him back here in a second. He just dropped off. But no, I learned a lot of editing things, tricks, and things from Tony. And if you go back and watch some of his, you know what? And I'll tell you, I think this is one of the best things you can do. You know, he's built a 232,000 subscriber channel. Go watch some of his earliest videos. So go into YouTube and sort his channel from earliest to latest, and watch what he was doing 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, carburetor throwing goodness, wearing the white tank top, speaking short.
Man.
I remember that video.
It was a good recipe for getting people to click. Okay. And so what you see now has evolved a long way. He's a really good presenter and that kind of thing. But that's evolved from what he was doing. But what he was doing in the beginning was really good at getting people to click. So I want him to tell you about it. He'll be back. He'll get this tech expert Kathy here in a minute. So what are they saying in the chat over here? Let's ask Kathy, the real pro. Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick him so he can come back. He's trying to use the link fresh. All right. You're good, Tony. Come back. Cool. So what else do we have here? All right.
Okay, what was happening was there was like a minute delay. It was
Good.
Kat,
Good.
Uncle Kat was fixed it. Say hi to everybody.
Okay. Thank you.
What?
You feel like you're.
Oh, it's still doing it. It's still doing it.
Sounds good.
So many people on.
I'm hearing myself 5 minutes after I say something.
You are?
Yeah.
You have another browser open, either on your phone or on the computer. You've got another browser open, either on your phone or on the computer.
I have another browser open. Oh, okay.
And it'll get instantly better. All right. That sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah. You should be able to see and hear us.
I see and hear you, but what's happening is I'm hearing myself come back like, let's say 30 seconds after I say something.
Sounds good on my end.
Yeah, that could be.
Okay, we're good now. Okay, it's all in sync now.
Yeah,
All right.
it played itself
That's it.
through.
We're good.
So I was
okay,
telling
guys.
them-
I'm really sorry about all of that.
All is good.
It's all right.
Hey, I was telling them about the way that your channel has evolved and what you were doing initially that was getting more subscribers. The short video, the way you can short but complete thoughts and that kind of stuff. So what advice do you have to these guys to help grow a channel from 0 to 100 or 200 subscribers? What advice would you give them that would help them the most right now to get to 500 subscribers?
All right. Before we made our first videos, I looked at, I tried to absorb as much of YouTube, their philosophies as possible. And one of the things they kept stressing was offer value, right? Value. It kept community and value were the two words that kept coming up in the. So we decided what we're going to do is we're going to focus on value, and we're going to make things as short and as sweet as possible. And part of that was because I was so uncomfortable in front of the camera. I literally could not speak more than one sentence. And I get lost because I'm slightly autistic. So what happened was if I lost any pace, I went blank. So we ended up doing a bunch of videos that were 1 minute long. They would have like 7, 8, 9, 10 edits because I'd speak a sentence, she'd cut it. I'd speak another sentence, she'd cut it. So that's what got us going, though, because all of the videos that we started doing right off the bat were value oriented. So it was like, this is how you do this, and bang, 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 all info, and then it's over. Now, one of the things that YouTube values is view duration, right? How long somebody's going to stay on your video. So if you're not known, right? Like for instance, Vice Grip Garage can go on. He's known, and you know that when his viewers click on that one of his videos, they're going to stick around for that half hour, 45 minutes, however long it is. So when you're an unknown, it's very hard to get people to click on you. It has to be very direct. You know, here's like the first video that we had that really got us traction was everything you needed to know about an Edelbrock carb in under a minute. And I blasted through an Edelbrock carburetor in under a minute. And that's what got us views, because people will take a chance on a 1 minute long video. And there's a good chance that they're going to stick around for that whole minute because it's not that big of an investment of time. And because of that, we had long view duration, and YouTube put our videos out more. It shared our videos more. And that was a formula that we used for the first, 5 or 6 months that we were doing this. And we had our first 1,000 subscribers, I think, in about 3 months. And at the time, I knew nobody. Like there wasn't anybody to latch onto or collaborate with or anything like that. We were all by ourselves. We're very fortunate in that you have us as a collective to help promote and you know what I'm saying. And you need to use that to your advantage. Did anything I just said make any sense?
Perfect sense to me. You guys watch 318 Will Run. He just did a video on how to read a time slip in under 1 minute. So he has a 58-second video, and he tells you rapid fire. Here's the 60 foot. Here's the 1/8 mile. If you're running on a quarter mile, here's your ET. Here's your mile an hour. But he got it all in 1 minute. And my kind of rule of thumb is, if you're an unknown, if somebody can watch your video while they're in the bathroom, that's a decent amount of time. If they need to block out some time or schedule, or I need a whole break to watch it, they're way less likely to watch it if they've never heard of it.
But you got to understand, right? There are thousands of automotive YouTube channels, and you're competing with those eyes. So by keeping your videos extremely short, okay, let me explain something. After you get monetized, after you've got your first 1,000 subs and you got 4,000 hours of watch time, then in order to actually make money off this, you need to go out to between 5 and 8 minutes. But at the stage that you guys are at, where you're just getting your feet wet with this thing, a minute long, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And after that, what's happening is the viewer who doesn't know you, they have to invest time. It's like, okay, I can watch this channel, this channel, this channel, and I already know I've got this unknown guy. I have no idea. I'm not going to invest 12 minutes of my life, 18 minutes of my life to see what they're up to. But they will invest, though. They take a chance on you for a minute or two, especially if the topic is useful to them. So it's like how to do this, why to do that, how I do this, what's the problem with that. And you always got to remember too, and I hate to be like this, but there's that old the newspaper, the cliche is, if it bleeds, it leads. So the first big video we had, actually it went viral. We had like 3.5 million views in the first couple of weeks or whatever it was that scam video. And because it was a scam, but people will click on that. So, and I tried to stay away from I know how to get many, many views in a short period of time, but I don't want to be that negative channel that's always like, this is a rip-off, this is dumb, I don't want to be, avoid that. But you're looking to get your feet scam, rip-off, bad, whatever it happens to be. Look at Scotty Kilmer. Look at his don't, bad, you're stupid if you do this, right? The guy gets views. And if it bleeds, it leads. So if you have something that's like that's damaged or weird or defective or anything like that, this is a good chance, so it's a good time to start rolling those things out, because that will get people to click on your videos. So keep them really short, keep them tight, keep them focused. Your thumbnail is super important. People click on the picture just as much as they click on the words. The words you put in your thumbnail don't count as far as search goes, but they do count in eyeballs. Scrolling YouTube videos with their phone, and those thumbnail words will jump out of them before the title will. But the title and the thumbnail are important because that's what Google uses to place your video in search. Am I?
Absolutely. And you notice, if any of you guys watched the video that Uncle Tony's Garage put out today, with the motorcycle and the carry van, I can tell by the laughter who's seen it. Go watch it after this. Look what he does in the first 15 seconds of the video. Do you think after seeing that, people are going to watch the rest of it? The answer is yes.
I can't run over all my stuff, though.
That was strategic.
Was that your bike?
It could have been, almost.
You can get people's attention like that and hold it, sometimes doing things like that.
We found stuff after we finished shooting the video. there's just more and more.
Oh, I bet you just the tip of the iceberg, eh?
Yeah, it looked like straight out of the Hoopty barn, I'm telling you.
Oh, bro. I bought it from a cattle farmer. He's a guy about my age, about 60. And he was helping a friend of his who didn't have internet. I guess somebody abandoned this thing in their barn or whatever it happened to be. So that's how he was trying to get rid of it. But I want to try to help you guys with any type of knowledge that I've got. So please ask questions, pick my head.
This is a good opportunity.
Does the time of day matter when you post? Does the time of day matter when you post?
It does. And so we experiment with that, and it does change. Okay, here's another thing you guys got to be aware of. The YouTube algorithm is a fickle beast, and it changes all the time. They make major changes, like let's say every couple of years they'll revamp it, but it's always being changed. It's always moving around. So the time of day does have an effect, and then sometimes it doesn't have an effect. So like, for instance, we posted one last week. Not even last week, a couple of days ago. We posted it at 11 o'clock at night. Now, normally, what will happen is overnight. So if you watch how a video goes, you'll get your biggest chunk of hits in the first hour. So you'll get like 3,000. Okay, for our videos, you'll get like 3,000, 4,000 hits in the first hour, and then it starts to taper off and taper off. We posted it at 11 o'clock at night. It got about 2,000 hits, and then it went into the toilet, and it never recovered. Now, this is a video that I know. And we've done over 1,000 videos. There's like 700 of them up on our thing. So I know how things should go. And this reminds me of something I want to mention to you guys. Usually it'll go through that overnight slump. And then if it's a good video, the type of video you think is going to work, it'll pick up in the morning and regain. But this video never regained. So which tells me that the YouTube algorithm is now valuing the second, third, fourth hour performance as much as it is the first hour performance now. And that will change. It's always changing. Oh, there's one other thing that you guys got to be aware of. Your subscriber number is absolutely meaningless. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. The algorithm doesn't give a shit about it. Viewers don't care about it. Nobody cares about it. What it is it's a gauge, okay? It's a gauge. Typically, the algorithm wants to see 10% of your subscriber number in first day views. So within 24 hours, so let's say you've got 1,000 subscribers. YouTube wants to see 100 subscribers, 100 views within 24 hours. That tells YouTube that you are at least in tune with things, and they'll push your videos out more. If you've got 1,000 subscribers and you're only getting, let's say, 80 views in the first 24 hours, they won't share, they won't put your video out as much as possible. So that's why it's one. Your first, Dylan, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't like stray too far from your question, my brother.
Well, this brings up two things. How many of you guys see these channels that have a big number of subscribers and yet you never see their views suggested? If you never see their videos suggested, if you go back and look, they have a very small disproportionate number of views on their videos, and that's why they're not getting promoted. And as far as subscribers, we're only talking about 500 subscribers for the No Name Nationals, just as a a bar to being a bona fide content creator, people who are serious enough to invest in making some videos and participating in the content creator community. But as far as actually, monetized and being paid, no, the subscriber number is one of the least valuable metrics there is.
Right, unless you use it as that gauge, because I'm telling you that
Yeah.
the algorithm uses it at that gauge.
Right.
So we have, I don't know, we have like 230,000 subs, and I look to see between 20,000 and 25,000 in the first day performance. And when I don't get that, if I do a couple of videos in a row that don't hit that mark, I will find that it hurts all of the next several videos until I get one that breaks out. And then when the video breaks out, then you'll see your overall view number pick up. It's crazy. It keeps you on your toes. You're always guessing, and they're always tweaking it. It's always a little thing. But that's what your subscriber number counts as. It's like, and that should be your goal. Can I get 10% of my sub number to click on the first video? Now, if you look at some channels like ViceGrip, now ViceGrip Garage started at the same, literally, I think about the same month that we did. And for a while, I actually had more subs than he did. But he's got a broader audience. He's got a broader type of reach. Now, if you watch his videos, or you watch his numbers, he's got 1 million subs, and he'll get 2 million views on his videos. And that's why he gets as much share through YouTube as he does. Like, for instance, let's say you click on, I click on one of Andy, there's Andy there. Okay, so I click on one of Andy's videos, and I don't bother clicking off of it after it's done, right? I just let it run. A ViceGrip Garage video will pop up afterwards. And so that's why you can't, we're smaller channels. I mean, compared to these other guys, I'm a micro channel. I'm just bigger than you guys, but I'm actually a very small fish in the So if you do everything right, that's what will happen. And YouTube will start tagging your videos onto the back of other videos, and you'll get those runs. But like,
So I saw on some of your videos on your tags how you had tagged everything in your description.
Yeah, we tag. So we don't do it. We don't always do it, and it doesn't always count. Like and I've done that. I've experimented like back to back. I'll launch a video, wait an hour, and then add tags, and then watch them minute by minute, and it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Okay, that was it. That was my question.
Okay.
It didn't seem like it seemed to help either way on any of mine either.
Well, I'll tell you another thing too. You can change
the title. I think was the most important.
The title is, but you've got a window of just literally a couple of minutes for any changes that you make in the thumbnail, the title, the description, or tags for it to count, right? So in other words, like you set the video out into YouTube land, okay? And then you say, oh, wait a minute, I forgot about this or I forgot about that. It won't make any difference. Or you put a video out that's like a good video, but it doesn't have the right title, tag, and description. You say, well, let me tweak this. It used to be, let's say you go back 2 years ago, it used to be you could make a change, let's say within the first day or so, the first day. And you could actually watch it kick up immediately afterwards. And it doesn't work like that anymore. That's what I'm saying. The YouTube algorithm is always changing. It's always fucking with your head, right?
Yeah.
So now you can launch a video, say, oh my God, what happened to this thing? Wait, let me change the title of the thumbnail, and it won't make any difference, whereas it used to. So have your stuff tight. Like when you hit, publish, make sure it's tight and what you want it to be.
Okay.
Excellent. Good stuff.
Your burnout video is the one that got me onto you.
Which burn? The chicken burnout?
No, the high rev and dump one in the Charger.
Oh, yeah. How to do a bitch and burnout.
Yeah, you betcha. That was a good one.
Well, I noticed that one of my videos, and it's a regular video about the same length as the rest of mine, about 7 minutes or so, and just because of the title that I put on it, I put Field Trip with Donald Trump, because that's the name of my tractor is Donald Trump. It's my big orange tractor.
Brilliant.
And it's got 2,300 views.
Great.
Brilliant. Because how many people search Trump? Either they love or they hate him. It doesn't make any difference, but how many people, it's a common search term, and you stuck that in your title. The algorithm doesn't know if you're talking about Donald Trump or you're talking about Trump, your tractor. And it's like, here, Trump, boom, people are going to click on this.
The people who love him and hate him will equally watch your video. That's great.
Yeah.
That's what he did there. That's brilliant. You can't always do it. It's not always practical, but he nailed it right there.
Yeah, I've had things that get more views, and you realize later what you did, later what you titled it and whatnot, and that's just how YouTube works. It's like a credit score. You can't get the credit score formula anywhere. They'll never tell you, but we know certain things that make it work, right? YouTube is the same way. They're never going to tell you this is the formula, but we see certain things that are repeatable. And we start figuring out, reverse engineering it a little bit. We figure out things to do that make it work. We game it in reverse.
I don't have an ashtray. I've been flicking this thing into my palm, and I have no place to put it out.
Barrows has a question here.
Yes, sir.
Let that pop up. Does it help to change a video to private for a week?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Once it's out there, it's out there. I know what you're saying. You get a dug video and you say, well, let me take it off and then I'll reintroduce it, and it doesn't work. Actually, YouTube recommends that you don't do that because it hurts the click-through rate. Guys, let me just get rid of this because I'm about to burn my fingers.
Yeah, I quit smoking. Best thing I ever did.
I never knew there was a bathroom in there. I always wondered what that door was. I've walked by that door 10 times. And I never knew that was a bathroom.
Yeah, it's a bathroom and a pantry closet. All right.
What day of the week is the best to post on when you're starting out?
I'm sorry, say that again, Credence.
What day of the week is the best to post on when you're first starting out?
Okay, for our channel, and I think our channel is going to be representative of anything that you guys are doing. For our channel, we get the highest viewer concentration on Friday afternoon, evening, and then Saturday and Sunday. You'll definitely get better hits launching something on let's say Friday afternoon, and then you've got that extra viewership that's going through the weekend. It'll give you a run much better than posting, let's say, on a Monday morning or a Tuesday night. Okay, our peak hours for our demographic, our general, I'm talking about like all of us in general. I think you're going to find between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock my time, right? So it'd be about 4 Eastern, 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock or thereabouts is when you're going to have the highest concentration of people who are going to absorb our type of content.
Buzz from Roadkill Customs. Buzz knows a lot of stuff that I don't even know how he knows all the stuff he knows. But when he says things like this, I would tend to put some stock in it. He says automotive industry viewers are mostly online at, 10,
11
Central. Yeah. Well, okay. That's something.
That's what detail that I came up with.
Hey, I'll tell you this. The main thing is make content regularly. Put content out regularly. You don't want to be holding something and then have a drought that you're holding it through.
Seriously, post something every day. Even if it's just a minute-long video. Just put anything out there. Not anything, but try to make it valuable to the viewer. But try to post something every day. It's important. Okay, here's the other thing, okay? The YouTube algorithm. Because we all work for Satan, okay? The YouTube, Google, the algorithm, right? That's the bottom line. If you establish an upload period, so let's say you establish where every 48 hours you're going to upload. You establish that over the course of, let's say, a month, and then you go to 72 hours. Let's just say something came up, right? You went fishing with your buddies and you didn't upload that day. You will get punished. They will punish you. It reduces your reach. So you'll find that now you're gonna have a week of like where you're not gonna get the same views. But come down. Once you establish a pattern, stick to that pattern. And the pattern that's going to give you the fastest growth is going to be every day. Just post something every day. You can film 7 videos in one day and then just post them all, let's say Saturday morning, right? Or you start on Saturday morning and just, go through the week and post your. But
what I'd suggest that if you do a video and it's 20 minutes long, break that up into 4 or 5 minute videos.
Nobody at this stage of the game should be doing 20-minute long videos.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You could do an hour-long video once you've established yourself and once you've established an audience. The biggest problem is you do a 20-minute long video, you need a substantial amount of the audience to stick around for that entire 20 minutes. because every time they click away, it's hurting you. So at your stage of the game, the only thing I can tell you is like keep your videos as tight as possible, right? Just as like bombard them with your message, whatever it happens to be, whatever you're doing, like within a second of them clicking on everything. Because you see, here's the thing, right? You've got to remember the audience, because the audience is what pays our bills. Okay, the audience. First of all, you're competing with thousands of other channels, right? The audience is bombarded with like options, with choices. And first for them to give you an unknown a chance, right? And I'm an unknown to most people. I'm a tiny channel compared to the bigger picture of things. For them to give an unknown like us a chance, it has to be short and it has to be direct. They're not going to bother wasting unless it's, you know, you're doing you've got a 67 Pontiac Le Mans and you're going to do a 3-minute, 8-minute, 12-minute long video with it. Unless people are interested directly in that car and you can hold their attention, you're not going to get the clicks. You see what I'm saying? So keep your videos, at this stage of the game, keep them tight, a minute to 3 minutes max, because more than that, the longer your initial videos now, the less chance of people giving you a chance. They don't know who you are. You could be the greatest YouTuber that ever lived, but they don't know that. And they won't know that until they've watched, let's say, 5 or 6 of your videos. Then they become familiar with you, and now it's like every time they see you pop up, it's like click, and they'll last through the whole thing. But you do a 10-minute video and you get most of the audience clicking away after 30 seconds, because you've all done it, right? You'll click on a video, it's like a 10-minute video, and like within like 30 seconds, you're like, fuck, I can't sit through this, and you click away. Well, that's like a nuclear bomb as far as the algorithm is concerned. So that's why, like, you'll see like bigger channels and stuff. They'll have like intros and whatnot and all of that. Avoid that like the plague. Okay. As soon as somebody clicks on your video, like the instant they click on your video, give them something that they're going to latch onto, you know, or at least start talking, you know, and keep them engaged. Dead air is a killer. That's another thing too, right? You'll get people who like they'll do, and it's not that it's like their natural like speech patterns, okay? They'll space out their thoughts or they'll repeat themselves. Right? That's a killer, because as people who don't know you, who don't really like you yet, they're like, I can't listen to this guy. He's too slow. Now I get people, you know, the exact opposite. Oh, he goes too fast. The guy's like on fucking speed. But that's one of the things that was able to get us in the door and get those first 1,000 subs that get the ball on. And when that 1,000 sub number is important. You know, I know we're all working towards 500 for this event, but the 1,000 sub is what actually puts you on the map as far as YouTube is concerned.
Two Hacks has a good question here. Do collaborations with other channels help?
I've never done. See, I've done a bunch of collaborations, but never with anything that would benefit my channel. You go back to. I mean, I can't tell you how many freaking channels that we've jumped into and tried to help out with that. And from that experience, I could tell you for sure. It's like you watch a video that will collaborate with somebody and they'll get 20,000 views, and their normal video will get 800 views or 1,200 views. So, but I've never. So I know that works, but I've never done it from the other side where I'm collaborating with a bigger channel. So does that make any sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Fair enough. A lot of people were asking in the chat. Okay, here's a question that Buck has. Is it okay to post videos from months ago?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why not?
If nobody's seen it, why not?
Yeah.
YouTube tells you to recycle some of your older videos. And I won't do that because I'm one of these people, I look at anything I did in the past and I cringe. Like I look at a video I did a month ago and I'm like, oh my God, oh fuck, how did I do that? Right? So I won't do it. But that's just my own personal weirdness.
Muscle City Madness, Ruben asks, he makes a good point. He was watching a channel that wasn't doing well. It was dying. And the guy started posting every day and it took back off.
That's the algorithm. The algorithm says, oh, this is a serious content creator. This person is serious about what they're going to do. And so they'll help you. That's the thing. Like YouTube will actually help you. YouTube is a cruel fucking master, but if you do what YouTube wants you to do, they will help.
Dodge Whisper, Bad Tree is in the chat. Blake is here. I could not kick myself out because then I couldn't let Tony in. So we're all here though. That's the main thing. We're all here.
Guys, I hope I'm not rambling on and dominating conversation
No,
here.
we
I
don't want
want to
you-
answer
No.
questions.
We don't want your keyboard to catch fire in the chat either. So.
We're just here to find the suggestions, and you're throwing a shitload out there, so you're fine.
Is it helpful at all?
Tony,
Oh, yeah.
Tony was a big help to Andy. So Andy mentions that. Tony's been a big help to me. You know, you always can learn when you're open to it and you want to.
There were a couple of channels that I won't mention them now because here's another thing too about YouTube. You run into a lot of weird ego issues, right? But there are a couple of channels that I helped in the past that I learned to regret that I helped them in the past. John knows what I'm talking about.
The John Wilbur channel.
But we've launched a bunch of channels over this. Like look at Mo Peral. Look at what Al is doing. Okay.
This channel.
He's killing it.
This channel.
He's killing it.
I probably had fewer than 100 subs when I started modding for you a couple years ago.
Yeah. Well, you got known off of the
I have
walls.
2,100 subs now. Yeah.
But yeah, look at Mo Peral is the perfect example, right? He started working on the car and then just posted in videos, little quick videos about what he was doing on the car. He has a completely different style than I do. He's much slower, he's much easier paced, and so on and so forth. And honestly, I didn't think his channel was going to go the way it has. But man, boom, he hit it, and he's doing
He
great.
did a live the other night, and he did really well too.
He's monetized already. He's actually getting paid. He's getting paid.
You guys have any other questions? I'm trying to respect everybody's time here. I will say this. In 39 minutes, Uncle Tony's Garage is scheduled to go live. So I'm always watching your time for you, Tony. But do you guys?
We could be a few minutes late. We could be a few minutes late. I'm not worried
We have
about
some
it.
time. Well, Tony, 79 of your viewers are here already. So
I don't have chat. My chat is so I can't respond to anything that people are writing because I'm not getting it. So if anybody's trying to direct questions at me from the chat, I'm sorry, I can't read them. They're not coming up.
right.
Did you click on the comments?
Yeah, click on the comments.
I tried that. I tried that.
Just give it a second; it'll come up.
Hey, Tony.
No.
When do you have an inside joke like happen that you know would make for good merch? Like, is it just something that keeps on popping up, or what?
It's hard to explain, man. We do everything pretty spontaneously, and if something just
And it's
strikes us
typically
as a good
about car
idea-
parts.
If something strikes us as a good idea or funny, we go for it. And it doesn't always work.
If you have anything different to do in
Wait,
regards
let
to
me-
how you
let me-
grow your channel,
Wait, let me just throw something out there. Merch right now is absolutely in the toilet. People between food inflation, fuel inflation, the general like state of the world right now, merch sales are absolutely in the toilet. If you're thinking that you're going to make money, I'm telling you, when you go back 3 years ago, we were doing, I'm going to say probably $5,000 or $6,000 a month in merch, like without even trying. And now it's like there's nothing. It's like crickets. So if you're thinking about investing in merch right now, don't do it. I'll let you know if and when it ever picks up again. But don't waste your time and energy on it. Just make content. Focus on content.
Well,
I'm sorry,
Max, he brought that up, and he was going to make a few stickers and things, and I think that's all I was going to do too.
Stickers you may get away with.
Yeah. But not to, just to give away at this point. Same thing like when we go to the No Name 500 or No Name Nationals. I'd still like to, even though if people ain't got shirts or nothing, I'd still like to get a card or a sticker or something. Just say, hey, it's.
No, that's great. That's great. But I'm talking about as far as selling things. And initially,
I know, but I think later, I think that would help in order to start selling merch too.
watch the economy. Watch the economy. People are hurting right now. All that little extra money, that disposable income that they would normally say, oh, yeah, I'll just $27 for a shirt. With shipping it all. Yeah, no problems. It ain't like that anymore. It's like, what did you buy that shirt for? We just spent this much at the grocery store. Blah, blah, blah. It's
hey, Dan.
You're not gonna be able to get it again.
Hey, Dan, would you like to get in here and offer these guys some advice? You sure built a
doing
meteoric
great.
rising channel. Because if you want to get in for a few minutes, we'll kick Tony out. We'll rotate our guest here.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, Dan is an example. Dan is an example of somebody who's overachieving because now he's only got about 90,000, 80, 90,000 subs, but he continuously gets videos. He gets the same number of views that I do. I watch his videos. I watch his view counts, and I've got more than twice his number of subscribers, and he gets the same number of views that I do. So he's actually overachieving right now. He's doing great.
Yeah, I'll tell you, not everything everybody does works for everybody. You got to figure out what works for you, but there are certain things that do work for everybody. And I'm telling you, I've been watching Tony since the beginning, like the wearing the white T-shirt and throwing carburetor days, and it's pretty amazing.
That's where me and Jason's garage watched Tony a long time ago. I remember watching him drop that Q-jet right in the trash, and I loved it.
Thanks for sticking around this long, guys. I appreciate it.
Man, you're not stepping on any toes. So we have Blake here for about the first 50 minutes. We've had Tony on about the same. Tony goes live here in 35 minutes. But if you want to come in, we've been kind of rotating out our guest experts here. If you'd like to jump in a minute, you certainly can. I'll put the link up in the chat. Just let me know. You know, I mean, you could be in your underwear and you don't want to get on camera. That's fine, but let me know.
Does anybody have other questions before? I'm sorry.
I think everybody that I've met on here, everybody may be in their Mopar guys, Ford guys, Chevy guys, whatever, but everybody's been doing really well as far as trying to help everybody out. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, the community here is fantastic.
I've never seen it pulled together better than it is right now.
Well, I work on everything. I've worked on Mopars, Pontiacs, Chevys, Fords. I love them all. You know, I got no problem making them faster than my car even. It doesn't matter.
See, there's another thing too. As far as content goes, right? I say try to make things valuable, right, to the viewer, because that's honestly now you got to put the viewer first. If you make videos for yourself, they're not going to go anywhere. We've made a few videos for ourselves, right? Like we did that one with the Super Cup where he was eating the bowl of noodles, right? We did that for ourselves. And as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best videos we've ever done. We had a blast doing it, and I think it turned out great. It went nowhere, like nowhere. You can allow yourself that luxury of doing videos for yourself after you've established yourself. But right now, make everything count. And it has to be valued, right? So every one of you has something that you know better than, like every one of you here knows something about something better than I know it, or better than John knows it. And that's what you want to share. You know what I'm saying? Like your field of expertise, or maybe it's not a matter of knowledge. Maybe it's something that you're super enthusiastic about, right? Maybe I knew a guy years ago, right? This is back in like the 70s, and he was into Chrysler keys. He collected Chrysler keys. This guy was berserk, out of his mind. He used to drive a cab, and he had hundreds, maybe thousands of Chrysler keys. And he could close his eyes and run his fingers over the thing and tell you the combination or go duplicate it. He was a key freak. He would have a banging YouTube channel right now because he's so enthusiastic about this otherwise mundane topic. So every one of you either has something that you have a ton of experience with, or a ton of like knowledge, or a ton of enthusiasm about, and that's what you want to focus your videos on. You see what I'm saying? That's right. Does that make any sense?
Well, I did a shorts video at work where I got a 07 Nissan 350Z that I was getting ready to put a clutch in. I did that shorts video. It didn't do too bad. But then I went to go do the video, and that's when they crashed my party and told me I wouldn't let to do it at work. I was not allowed to video at work.
No fooling. What are they afraid of? I mean, there's a lot of guys who do it.
It's AAA. They're a corporation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It does.
Do it till they fire you.
I don't think it'd take them long at this point, the way they're talking.
Everyone's hiring in the country. You had no problem finding something else to do.
Well, let me put something else to you too. Let me explain something else to you too, guys. YouTube can pay really, really well, really well. Okay, you're not going to get rich doing YouTube, but if you can establish a channel of about my size, my yearly overhead doing a channel is about $100 grand. Okay, ballpark, give or take. The shop and then like all the things that go into it, parts and oil and I mean just name it, right? Well, my yearly overhead is about $100 grand, and I cover that and way then some. So now it's not a matter of getting rich, okay? But if you can achieve a channel of about my size, you can pretty much quit any job that you got.
Very cool. I'm really looking forward to a lot of the content I know you guys are going to make. I mean, you know, Dylan Levi's got that Laguna. You know, you see Bullet there. He's sitting behind a Dominator. I mean, you know,
I see that, yeah.
That picture is killing me right in that. I can see it.
Yeah.
Blow that up. I want to see that.
We didn't know how to set it up.
I mean, and maybe let's see here.
Oh, that's an old school Dominator.
That's an early one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the choke plates up there. Wow.
I'm gonna zoom on that real quick.
That's like a 1970s.
Yes. That's a 70s Dominator.
Not 70s, 70.
Yeah, really.
They only did those for like 1 year, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
My dad said when he bought that thing, it was like,
I'm going to get to see a pair of those on the dyno soon.
Somebody's trying to say something, but it's all muffled.
It's delayed. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
and I was saying that my dad, when he bought that carburetor, it was like $379 or something back then, and now it's like $4 grand.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, John, Travis's Mopar Garage was trying to ask a question in the
I
comments.
see that. That's what I was looking to see. He had a gauge in there. He had a comment, but I didn't see the question.
Let's try this again.
So let me.
Hey, guess what? I got comments now.
Excellent. Okay. Here's Travis's.
Okay.
Is a good gauge for video.
Okay. For video is 1 minute per 100 subs. I don't understand the question.
No, because what he's saying is, if I have 500 subs, should I have a 5-minute video? If I have 1,000 subs, should I have a 10-minute video?
No. Don't go until you're monetized, right? Until you're monetized, don't go past, let's say, 3 minutes. Once you go past 3 minutes, I'm telling you, you're pissing in the wind. After you monetize, you want to go to 8 minutes. You can do shorter videos, but what happens is the pay rate goes up. So let's just say, for instance, you do it. Okay, let's use my channel for example, and the pay rate changes through the course of the year. It goes up and down, right? So let's just say on average. So if I do a 3-minute video, I'll get a CPM of, let's say, $10, and I'll get paid approximately $5 for every 1,000 views. Okay, that same video, right, with the same reach, if I go to 8 minutes, they stick an extra commercial in there, and the pay rate doubles. If you can go to 12 minutes, they stick another commercial in there, and the pay rate goes up again. So until you break that barrier to where you're getting paid for a video, you're pissing in the wind to go more than, let's say, 3 minutes. Of course, if you feel compelled to do a really long video, do it. But remember that not everybody's going to stick around for that video, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. For a new channel, short, tight, get right in there, get right to the point, keep the viewer hooked. Don't give them a chance to click away, right? Keep talking, keep motion, keep action, keep things happening, and don't give them a chance to click away. And that is how you will win this game.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good advice.
Yeah, good advice.
The competition is fucking crazy. And this is so much more difficult than it was when I started. And that was only 4 years ago. And look what I'm doing right now. I'm helping my future competition, because every time one of you guys puts a video out, it's stealing eyes from my videos. You know. But again, see, that's I doubt that. Don't doubt it, bro. The average person only has so much time to watch videos. So if you click, you know, if yours comes up in recommended or whatever it happens to be, and mine comes up and they click on yours, I'm taking a view with myself. But the way I look at it is, like I said, a rising tide raises all ships. So collectively, as a group, you know, see, we have competition.
Yeah, but be good neighbors so that it actually works in your benefit. So I did this live purposefully before UTG, and then I'm going to refer anybody in this chat who's not already watching the UTG live. We've seen a few in here tonight to go over to his, and hopefully, if you work together, you can both benefit.
Absolutely. Collaborate amongst yourselves as much as you can.
Yes, Buck.
Hey, Tony.
Everything's
Yes,
excellent advice right now.
Wait, who's asking?
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, Buck commented.
Yeah, Bullet.
Hey, my buddy David here just subscribed to you.
Hey, Dave.
We've got Tony for about 5 more minutes. Then I'm going to bring Blake in for some other stuff here at the end. If you guys got any more questions for Tony, it's a great time to ask. It's kind of hard to corral him sometimes. We got him cornered.
I'm usually hiding. If I'm not on camera, I'm actually usually hiding.
No, it really wasn't. That's the whole reason me and Jason ended up watching, because you're so damn friendly like that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, how'd you get over your camera anxiety, or you still deal with it?
I'm still a little weird about it. I hate watching myself. It's the fucking worst thing in the world for me. I keep it cool, right? Because I'll come home, I'll turn on the TV, and I'll see myself on it, and I'm like, oh no, this is like a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? I never really get used to it, but it's my job. And so I do my job to the best of my ability. So I put all of the personal insecurities, whatever they happen to be, whatever my issues are, I put them aside for the few minutes that we have to shoot a video, and boom, we go.
Well, it's cool. You just throw it out there. I love it.
You have to, man. Close your eyes, put your head down, and run hard into it, and don't worry about the consequences, man. Just do it.
Tony, what are your thoughts on being in front of the camera? Because I know that we have a mix of guys here. Some don't like to be in front of the camera, and some don't mind it. What are your thoughts?
John, you filmed me. How bad am I?
No, you're okay.
I'm okay?
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine because you're organized in the way you think and present, so it's fine. But what I'll say is a lot of people like to try to do videos without getting in front of the camera, and I think that hurts them.
It does.
I think you should be in because what I say is nobody's going to invite you to come to their shop and watch over their shoulder the whole time.
Yeah.
That's weird. So we don't do it in your videos.
People want to know you. People want to know you. And I got to throw something else out there too, right? Because this is something you guys are going to encounter, okay? And it's universal, right? You are going to get trolls. As soon as you start to get any type of notoriety, as soon as you start to get any type of traction, you're going to attract trolls. The more attention you get, right, the more of these trolls are going to come to you. Well, I can tell you right now, you can spot a troll post because there'll be bad punctuation. There'll be things are going to be misspelled. It's going to ramble on. There's a bunch of idiots out there. And
you'll be jealous.
That's what it is. It's like they hate you because they can't be you, and they will try their damnedest to make everybody who they cover like you cannot. I've got one guy, right? I've got one guy. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. I have this one guy who has a channel that his channel is about me. Okay, he has more videos
about him.
Wouldn't be BC, would it?
I'm honored. I swear to God, I'm honored, right? People think, oh, you got to stop this guy. No, this is great. It's like, he's got more videos about me than I have videos. And then he's got this farm of people that it's like, there's like 20 or 30 of them, and they'll pop into the comments. Okay, so when you get these trolls, your first instinct is going to be, forget about any type of personal effect it'll have on you. First, consider it a compliment, because people will not troll you if you're not effective. So if you're effective, and that's another thing too. If you don't get any trolls, consider yourself to be not effective. The trolls are actually a gauge of your power. The more powerful you are, the more trolls you're going to get. Look what happened.
I'm pretty much a new channel, and I tried to do a live on a first start on a Pontiac motor. And somebody reported me and got me shut down.
For what?
They said I was spamming or something like that.
Yeah,
you got down for a whole day. It was crap.
So listen, guys, you have to have a really thick skin, right? consider it an honor that somebody is actually taking this psycho, whoever it is taking the time to troll you, right? And don't delete them. Don't delete them. People are like, oh, don't feed the trolls. Feeding the trolls is deleting the comments, right? Embrace your trolls.
Totally agree.
You know? Embrace your trolls.
I'll smack them around a little bit, but I'll leave them because when you do that, they come back. It's good interaction, and you leave them to be, but you smack them around a little. They actually like that. That's why they come there. But it's good for business to handle them right.
Sometimes I'll pin one. I just pinned one the other day.
Yes. You know? I can't wait until Nolan's channel gets big enough to have trolls. I just cannot wait. If you watch any of his content, it's going to be a front row seat to watch what he says. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can badmouth the worst of them. I'll tell you that.
Well, Tony, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope you guys have gotten something out of this.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I'm gonna bring Blake back. We'll got some other stuff to debrief, and then don't forget we're going to go over. I'm going over at 8 to Uncle Tony's garage, and I know Tony will, so I hope you guys will too. But we'll bring Blake in here, and Tony, we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, guys. Nice talking to you, all of you.
All right.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Later. How do I get out of here?
Kick you out.
Just close it.
Hey, I gave Tony a timeout. I've never done that before. Blake, you're clear. Jump back in, man.
Hey, John, Mr. Will had a good question, if you wouldn't mind going into that a bit.
Yes. Let's see.
Shopcat had a big question on there, too.
Yeah, this is one I saw. I don't know. I don't necessarily have an answer for it. I don't know. I don't know what effect that has, because I have some big channels that are subscribed to me. Mute your browser there, Blake. I get to tell you for once.
I don't have anything on, man. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Tony. Sorry I didn't get to meet you.
You definitely gonna get to meet him in Sykeston. So,
how do you do this back? I'm representing. There we go.
Wow. Well, very cool. All right, man. What else you got for these guys? We're gonna start wrapping up here and head over to Tony. I'm going to head to Tony's live. You guys certainly can. We'll see you there. I'll be in the comments there.
I guess.
Hey, John.
One last thing.
Run up the chat and look. Shopcat had a really big question about her content.
What's that, Shopcat?
Yeah.
What channel? He has a comment about trolls. Okay. So sometimes I'll see them. I don't know what to make sense of them. Should I revamp what I've been doing and what I'm known for? Well, you got to be yourself in your videos. I mean, you can certainly change and make tweaks, of course. There's things I do different in my videos now than I did a year ago. There's things I do different than I did 2 years ago. We should always be growing and evolving. Well, look at Bad Tree Productions. Look at Bad Tree Productions now. Look at them a year ago. Look at them a year before that. You'll see changes and evolution going on in the videos. So, yeah. So make any little improvements here and there, but still be yourself. That's what I would say. I mean, I'm not going to change who you are, but you can always change up things that you're doing, certainly.
Now that they've figured out teleportation. You know.
Yeah.
They have indeed.
That's just, I always like to make myself uncomfortable and try new things. And that's why I think my editing has gotten better through the years, is to keep trying new stuff. Yeah, lower a truck. You'll find where your trolls are at. I haven't even lowered it yet. I just said I wanted to.
Yeah, or put a 4.7 in an old Dart Sport. You'll find a few that way too.
You might get deference for that one.
But I guess one of my best points of advice is, if you're nervous in front of the camera, or you seem like you're kind of stiff, pretend it's your audience behind it. You guys got a couple hundred subscribers now, people that care for you. They want to see you succeed. So don't look at it as a camera, look at it as your friends. And then you're more relaxed in front of your friends, right? So lighten up a little bit.
When I'm making a video, I mean, I've gotten to where I don't even think about the camera. I'm talking to all my buddies out there that I know are going to be watching this. I'm talking to Blake. I'm talking to Nolan. I'm talking to Ken and Bullet and Mike and all of these guys. It's you guys. I'm having a conversation with you.
Yep.
And the only way to get good at it is to do it. You just got to keep doing it, because good videos can only come after bad videos. So if you try to say, I'm going to get the video perfect before I shoot it, you won't do it. Your videos will just get better, but you got to make bad videos first to get better to make good ones.
And if your editing gets better, you might receive something in your own mini fridge one day.
You just may. You just may. Shopcat, you know what? It's worth a try. I mean, I know that you don't quite have your 500, but you know what? Give it a whirl. Try shorter videos and see what they do. I mean, it's worth it, right? Just see what you got. Nothing to lose.
We posted 3-4 randomly a week before we hit 1,000, and ever since then we kind of post midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, and guaranteed on a Saturday, at least 2 a week. We should do more. But
with race season right around the corner, I'm going to have a lot of in-car video of my car too. Hopefully that'll get more.
I think this was good. You know what? YouTube audience will sniff out a phony so fast it'll make your head spin. They don't like phoniness. And this ties into what we were saying earlier. You know, humor in your videos needs to be an extension of you. If you are whatever your natural. Okay, so one example I can use for this I think is really appropriate. There's a retired professional wrestler who lives right down the road from me. Okay, he's 80 years old. And he said something I thought was really smart. And he said, your most successful gimmick is just an extension of your own personality. See, that's what's not fake at all. So the most successful people have just been turned up a little bit over who they really are. And that's what I think the most successful content creators are. Okay, so am I doing a little bit more than I do when I'm on camera, while I'm greeting a lot of people and that kind of thing? And you know, we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm not normally doing that when I'm just sitting in the office working, but who you see on camera is who I am. Who you see on camera is who Blake is. People can't play a character there's very few people who can play someone completely unlike their actual self and get away with it. Most people play an extension of their own real personality. And so, because YouTube, they smell a phony and it doesn't go well.
You know, on that same line, I'm having a good time when I'm out there working in my hoopty barn. You know, I love what I'm doing, you know, and I just love being able to share it with people. And I get a kick out of the fact that people want to see that, you know, because what I'm doing, it's not informative. Not at all. It's just entertainment. I'm just out there having fun, figuring it out, you know. And
you
when
taught me how to do a drive shaft.
What's that?
You taught me how to do a drive shaft.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, when I first started this, you know, I wasn't even looking to do anything like this. I was just going to be sharing some of my retirement stuff and all that until they started this whole No Name Nationals things, and basically just, you know, called us out on, hey, who's going to make something out of this? And I'm like, I mean, I just started my channel December the 18th, you know, and it's just been awesome. When I first started recording, it was like I was talking to my phone, trying to wonder how people are going to see me and all that. And now that I've met so many of the people who are, you know, I mean, met on here online, on chats and stuff, and people in my comment section, and even on the phone, you know, Daniel from Redbeard Racing, his dad, Ed, he and I, we talk on the phone and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and it's really got to be an awesome experience, man. So much more than I ever expected.
Ed's a great guy. He got my phone number somehow 2 years ago, and I ended up talking to him on the phone for like 3 hours.
Yeah, the first thing we talked to was like an hour.
Yeah, and then he was one of our first fan mail. He sent me a 383 emblem.
Yeah,
Pole Barn Garage brings up a great point. You want to use words like we and us, okay? Yeah. You are one of your viewers. If you notice the Bad Tree Productions video, fellow heathens, you're all heathens. We're all together. You're one of us. It's we and it's us. There's not like a hierarchy, you know, so you're going along with everybody on an adventure. Okay. So there's not like a hierarchy. That's important.
And while I got you all here, heathens isn't like a religious term or anything. In our eyes, it's you're low buck, scratching and clawing for everything you got, and you're kind of the outcast. That's what we mean by it. So it's not religious, guys. Don't worry.
That's what I call my neighbors.
Oh, and with words like that, be lucky J-Bo's in the chat here, I noticed. Be lucky you don't have a J-Bo on your channel because you got to edit like 12,000 so's out of it.
Henry Race, his video says gotten 100 times better from a year ago. The only way to do it is to do it. And so you guys are going to find that as you go. We all get better as we do it. That's it. So that's all you can do.
Thanks, Shopcat.
So is anyone else here going to Mocan this coming Saturday?
I gotta work.
Oh,
Redbeard will probably be there, won't he?
I heard about it.
John will tell you that I'm me. Okay, Andy is Andy.
well,
Look at
just
J-Bo.
you know,
Andy's a real deal.
at Mocan this April 2nd is the 20th annual Mopars Invade, and I'm gonna take the Coronet on the trailer up there. I plan to have it running, rolling by the end of the week, and I'm gonna run it up on the trailer and take it over there and meet some folks and shake some hands and, you know, get some content and all that. So,
well, Thumper, if that's who you really are, which you could have fooled me. You were pretty nice on my live a little while back, but yeah, if you're who you are and that's it, that's the real deal, then be who you are. All right. Does anybody have anything else? We're going to wrap up here in just a few minutes. Anything else you want to share, Blake? Anything else any of you guys in the panel have?
It can be done with $50 or $5,000. What equipment you have, use it. What you have for your tools, use your tools to the best of your knowledge and never stop learning. Always keep trying to get better.
I got a suggestion there, John.
What's that?
Maybe here in the next few weeks, maybe bring all these guys back and recap on everything that's going on and what they've done. Maybe
like a parent-teacher conference.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Well, how about this? I'm going to look what all your current sub counts are when I get off of here, okay?
All right.
And I'll tally them up. And then what we'll do is, how about this, Blake? Today's 327. How about we look in a month and see what the content changes look like and what they're doing and what their sub counts are. And then we all come back together and say, hey, let's see how it has or hasn't worked and whatnot. And you guys can say, hey, I tried this and it worked. I tried this and it didn't work at all. Or I saw somebody else trying that. Now I want to. You guys might be game for something like that. We can do it.
Tri-State Raceway.
well,
What do you think?
Tri-State Raceway. Here you go.
so Blake,
Yeah.
I'm already taking all your advice.
There you go, man. It's pretty easy. I mean, you'll
I'm
get used to it.
gonna check it out and try to figure out how to use it. I'm not the most technologically savvy guy. I made a living for 35 years with my hands and my back, you know, so, but we're doing it, you know, that's the thing. I know we can do it. It can't be that hard.
Like I said, when you're just sitting on the couch watching other people's videos or you're watching the news, just kind of sit there and fool around on your phone.
How about this? We'll plan on doing something like this in a month, okay? And maybe we can rotate around, you know, guest experts. Certainly happy to have Blake back, but we'll just see who's available, what you want to do. If you guys are available, you come back. If other people in the chat want to see, maybe we can do something like that. But the most important thing is let's just see if any of this has helped anybody and things they can share and say, hey, I made this change and it helped, or I made this change and it hurt, and just share for the chat.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Cut the fat out, guys. So if you're in front of your car and you got video of your feet walking to the back of the car, we don't need to see that.
What? You didn't want to see my socks yesterday? I have my socks on.
You got to keep the feet people happy.
Blake, I have no idea what reminded you of that.
I don't know.
I've got a motor build that I've been trying to put together for some time that has no audio. And
you can do a montage, speed it up like 4x, you know, and put some music behind it, do some captions.
Yep.
You know, chop it up, make it
a lot of
short.
shitty details with this build too, because I got it in a box.
Okay.
Yeah, bearings were wrong. It was such a bad deal.
Andrew Nelson
just
is
trying
asking a
to-
silly question.
If I get my subs, I definitely will be. I'm already registered. And also, I'm almost done with the charger. I'm hoping that if there's still room and I get my 500 subs, I'm probably going to go ahead and enter that register the charger as well. And then we'll be having to do some call outs.
Nice.
So right here, so we've got all ranges of sub counts on the screen. We've got Mike's Mischief. He's just made his 500. He is in, right? We have Nolan, who's really close. We've got Creedence Chrysler Revival. You got a longer way to go. Do you have a game plan? Has this changed any of your game plan that you're going to make?
Yeah, I think so. Learned a lot out here.
Cool.
Bad thing is, I got a job coming up with a whole bunch of overtime, so that's
Okay.
going to slow it down a little bit.
Okay. Well, but the main thing is, if you got something out of it, then that's why we did this. Hopefully, it helped.
I'm gonna post a link in the chat. Kind of a shameless plug. It's our Facebook page. I know John doesn't do the Facebook thing or Instagram, but I think we have at least 80 YouTube channels on our Facebook page, and all they do is share their videos. So to get, we have, I think, 800 people on that page. If you want some extra eyeballs, I'm going to post the link to the page. Excellent. And feel free to post all your videos, anything, as long as it's car related. Go for it.
Fantastic. That's a good opportunity, guys. Blake is a good resource like that because he's got his finger on the pulse of these things going on. So
there you go. Just post it. You'll have to answer a question. What kind of scooter, wheelchair, car do you drive? So answer that.
All right.
Yeah, just keep sharing your stuff. Keep making it.
Anybody else have anything else? We'll shut this down. Does anybody have any last parting stuff? Anything from the chat? Anything from the panel? And if not, we'll wrap up.
Well,
I
I'm
just want
grateful
to
for
say thank
everybody.
you to you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for being there.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me, John.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
guys.
having us. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yeah, by the way,
guys.
By the way, you guys should go over and check out Roadkill Customs. You're gonna be seeing more of him very soon. Okay, so check out Buzz over at Roadkill Customs. I'll say
Roadkill, we don't do quality content, bud.
All right, guys. I'm gonna thank my mods. We got Blake from Bad Tree, one of my mods here in the house, and Just Mopar Joe and Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage and Fubar the Axe. And just when you think Fubar's not in here and you don't have to behave, boom, he appears, and wields the axe. So I want to thank the mods. I'm going to be live with Unity Motorsports Garage and David Vizard Performance live from the Mount Holly Studios, the David Vizard Performance Dungeon, on Friday, April 1st at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So you can come watch that live. And then shortly after that, I should have Dalton from Pole Barn Garage live on. And so we got one back and forth. We have Dallas on one week, and we're going to have Dalton on the next. So we're going to figure that out. But so we got some stuff coming up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We want to give you guys every opportunity we can. Anything we can do to help you guys. Shout you out, share your stuff. We're trying to help everybody get to 500. And we've already had 2 hacks as a total proof of concept that you can start with 0 and make it in 2 months if you put in the work. So it's definitely possible, but we want to help everybody get there. So if you need anything, just ask us. And with that, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to head over to Uncle Tony's Garage.
Thanks, John.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
guys for being
Thank
here.
you, sir.
I look forward to not seeing any of your feet.
You're
Yeah,
getting
don't
feet.
don't back
The
your
feet
hand.
people like feet.
Hey, now.
There's people out there that like feet.
No.